ask the attorney if he would to read the rules to address the council, and you can begin to make your way to the podium.
Okay, at the end of every council meeting, the chair will recognize members of the public.
I don't think you're.
Well, sorry, there we go. At the end of each council meeting, the chair will recognize members of the public who wish to address the council. Here are your rules. Each person needs to come forward to be recognized at the microphone. No person can have more than 3 minutes to speak, and you can address the council only upon matters within their legislative and quasi-judicial authority, and not upon matters which are not under their authority or regulated by other governmental bodies. You can't use any vulgar, obscene language nor use the floor to personally attack or personally denigrate others, and address your comments to the council as a whole and not make comments towards individual council members. Having stated that, please go ahead, sir.
Hold on 1 second before you do. We need 3 minutes on the clock. Give us your name and you can begin.
Yes, I'm Brett Starnes. I don't have a district here in Chattanooga. I'm just was homeless here in Chattanooga, and I'm just trying to speak on that today. Well, I come here to give support to friends I made while I was living in Chattanooga, and also voice my support of the idea of tiny homes. I want to express the importance of getting this done immediately. Accomplish, finish, stop making plans, just get it done, take action. And I see at the community kitchen that there's a type of shelter that has been built, but it was put behind a locked fence, and it's all nice and good, nice shelter, but like it was like 17 and snowing the other day, and you have this beautiful fancy shelter that's been built in front of all these homeless people behind a locked fence. And it's like, that's the most heartless thing I've seen since I've been here in Chattanooga. And, I really wanted to just show my support for getting that. I mean, it's a nice shelter, but just getting more built and getting them done so people like Jessica, Dustin, Ralph can have a place that's secure and dry to sleep at night. And, it's one of the things that, it makes me really upset to see happening. There's a lot of good people out there on the streets that have made either a bad decision or just had hard times following because of COVID. And they're trying to figure out a way to, there's some more friends right here that also, I've met while my time of being homeless. They're good people. And they just need the city's support and getting this idea of tiny homes finished, accomplished. Not tomorrow, not the next day, but now. So, yeah, thank you. And I have 60 seconds left. I'll stand here so y'all can think on what I just said, please. And none of the things I'm not a public speaker, and this is my biggest fear. And without the support of my buddy Joshua Capellish, I would not be right here right now. I got a job. I have a stable place to live because of him. And I'll try to go through all the programs that y'all have put forth in front of me, but it's pretty much impossible without transportation, phone, and think the hardships of just being homeless in general. And then somebody sends all these links, these phone numbers and all that, but it's hard to do when you don't have support or a home. So thank you.
Go ahead.
Hello, I'm Sarah Harwood.
I'm sorry?
I'm Sarah Harwood.
Okay.
I am coming to you guys today to talk to you about a personal matter. Me and my fiance have just started working, and we put in, we called the housing authority and put in a application for the housing authority, and they said that we should definitely be able to get approved and that it shouldn't take longer than 2 to 3 weeks for us to be able to get housing. But while we're working right now, we have food stamps and we've been buying food. I'm pregnant, and I've been buying food, and I've been having really bad nausea, so there's just certain food I can eat. And while we're at work, we come back and all our food's gone. So we've gone through all our months of food stamps and we have no food. And right now, this is my third day without eating. I was just able to get some insurance today. But I was wondering, since it's only going to take like 2 weeks to 3 weeks to get into a house, if there was like any type of government assistance program that could possibly get us into a hotel or a motel or some type of temporary housing just for like a week or 2 weeks, at least just a week, so I can have a week of, eating properly. But that was pretty much.
Joda, where are you? Is Sam here?
Yeah, she can talk with you.
Okay, ma'am, if you would get with Joda after the meeting and see if we can find a way to help you. Thank you.
What if I told you there's a secret hack to get all your favorite TV channels for free legally? Would you do it? This new
You can go ahead and reset the time to 3 minutes, please. Go ahead.
My name is Dustin Lambus. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. Just to elaborate more what my fiance said, we're living in a tent. Some females out there are even scared to come out their tents because of what people do to them. I've seen firsthand of the drugs on 11th Street and the drug dealers that are on there. And I don't believe that the Chat PD is doing their best to prevent these things from happening. I've seen most of the people, women who's got raped and beat up, they're out there living in fear. And there's nothing that Chat PD has done to help that. Now, I can't speak for myself because of the charges I've committed and the crimes I committed, but as a man who's changing his ways, not only for himself, but for his unborn child who's on the way. And a little bit what she said, that we're looking for just a motel room for 2 weeks till we can be approved for housing. And right now, she's scared to even come out her tent because her being pregnant, somebody might retaliate on her. Our food's been stolen, and there's just a lot been going on. The trash in our area, and that's not healthy for a pregnant woman to be in. The tent where we're sleeping at is trash everywhere. They have a couple back there with dogs who beat their dogs, don't clean up after their animals. And they're fighting every day. It's causing stress upon her and upon me because when I tell him something, he wants to get all courageous and ready to fight. And for me to put my hands on somebody will be illegal. So instead of me speaking, I got to walk away. So I was asking if there's any way council can help us get a motel room for at least 2 weeks to approve the housing. That's what I'll be grateful.
I think the chief of staff is going to get with you.
I would also like to speak to the chief of police too, if you don't mind.
She's sitting right behind you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh boy. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm not a public speaker. I'm very nervous right now, but I'm stepping out on behalf of the tiny homes too, because as a female, it's more privacy. You changing clothes in the tent, even with the windows zipped up and the rain fly on, somebody's gawking. Like this young lady, I'm scared to come out too. But being behind a locked door is, somebody could tear the door off, true enough. But they're less likely to do that than to cut your stuff up or to steal your stuff. We've been in the one that Josh has built since January, and nobody has messed with our stuff. So it's been a great source of comfort and being able to go to work and come back and my stuff be there. Or, get up and go to work and have a dry place to sleep, because a lot of places that the tents are set in, it floods and water comes up to the floor and your stuff's just soaked. And it's wintertime. I mean, I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I feel like that it's great. It's 10 times better than a tent. At least we're not going to burn up or somebody's not going to come by and cut our home up. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Go
My
ahead.
name's Ralph Curtis. I'm here on behalf of the tiny homes and Josh and them. It is a lot better. It keeps the wind off, the cold air, better than a tent. Mainly tents are only good for hiking and camping. That's what tents are mainly used for. They're not really meant to be out on the streets. I have experienced this a lot over the years, and it is a lot better being in one of those tiny homes. I think there should be more of them, and they're a lot safer knowing that your stuff is there. And as long as you got friends too, to keep an eye out on your place too, that helps, and a dog. And I just think there should be more of them, because I've seen tents catch on fire pretty quick. I have also had to put out a fire to keep one of these from burning up. A tent, well, try to put out a tent fire. It didn't work too well. Even the police officer couldn't hardly get out the other side. But the fire department came and put that out. I have also had to put out someone that was acting stupid that threw a fire in one of the tiny homes, and I put it out in time without having to call the fire department. If it wasn't for this man, Josh, right here, for the fire extinguisher, I probably wouldn't have got that done. That's all I have to say. And the smoke detector and the carbon monoxide detectors. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Amanda Lopez. I'm here on a safety issue. First, I would like to ask a question.
Hey, I'll go ahead and start. I'm Megan Godfrey. I've been helping Josh Capellish with the Tiny Home Project, or just building tiny homes for our people that are out there. I know it's getting some backlash, but I just wanted to stand up here today and tell you guys the good news that I've seen. A lot of times we come up here and we give you, what needs to be done, what, we wish we could do with you guys, but I just wanted to come and tell you guys, all of the growth that I've seen. Miss Jessica has a job now. That way she can provide for herself. She's moving up now that she's been in a tiny home. I'm getting shaky now that I'm at 1 minute in. So the other day we were able to build 2 more tiny homes in front of your gate. And 2 women were able to move into those homes. One was in the snow without a shell on top of her tent. The other one was going through a traumatic experience that I've also experienced, and it was nice to be able to see her get some rest. People like this, people like us are out there waiting on you guys, us guys, anybody to help. And I'll just keep building until something happens. That's all I have. Thank you. I have 1 minute and 22 seconds left. Does anybody have anything to say to me?
I'm not seeing any lights.
You're not seeing any what?
I'm not seeing any lights.
Likes?
In other words, nobody's pressing their button to ask questions.
Okay. Well, I'll just stand here the rest of my minute. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say thank you.
Hold on, no, hold on, I need you to speak from the podium, please. Yes.
No, at 20. We're all new to this.
I do think it's important to note people over profit as well. And I love Chattanooga.
Hello, I'm Joshua Capellish. I'm an advocate for homeless people in the city, unsheltered citizens of this community. This community, this This city of Chattanooga is full of great people. Some of them, a lot of you are sitting up here. It takes a lot of courage to stand up for other people, whether it's a representative, official manner, or in other ways. We all work together, and it's important that we pick up people when they fall down. There's so much work that's been done out there, and that silence we experienced is an amount of work that the city of Chattanooga has done. Brett was in the first house we built, and he helped build 4 more. He makes more money than I do now. I'm not kidding. I wish, anyway, he's a good man. He's out by me now. I'm taking care of him. And back where he got attacked by dogs. His hand was infected, and I brought him out of there. I couldn't leave him. It's a wingman concept in the military. There's another Marine right there. We got 2 veterans right here. We can do better, Chattanooga. And I know that we can become the first city to solve homelessness, but we can't do it alone. We work together. And I will not stand by while my friends sit out there in the cold, okay? They're not freezing to death, they're just chilling, according to my son, who's 14 years old, who comes here as well. They're just chilling, they're waiting, but the time's up. Y'all already emailed you at 4:50 with her information. Y'all called me back too for the first time, okay? So we got an elderly lady out there on a dock in a wheelchair who I couldn't find to build a house for because she was probably inside, I'm not sure, but there's nobody to push her, Miss Joe. Y'all have that information too. So Saturday, when y'all had 4 inches of snow, I already put 80 miles on, checked in at 9 o'clock, and checked out at 4:50. We had 13 volunteers. We built 2 homes in 4 hours for $400. Megan went out and found 2 people we had never met. 3 people. Because at some point we were finishing the work, and I said, we got to find somebody to put some in this home. So we found the people with the worst tents. There were tents blown over, caved in by snow. And we got 3 more people off of 11th Street, the same street that we're on right here. We got more folks stepping up. And I thank you for that. And because I've only got 3 minutes. I served my country for 4.5 years. I drive a long way to get here. The other day we missed the meeting, but we got to make more time. We got to make time for these folks. We got to free up resources, and we got to love people. We got to show our support. We got to care. There's a lot of work to be done out there, and it's just a matter of getting it done. We got a big old parking lot out there that's locked up with nobody in it. We've been building on the perimeter. I've been operating in a gray area. I've let y'all know what I'm doing to sort of get help. We need to move forward. There's a tiny house down there that looks beautiful, and it's behind a chain link fence, just like Brett said. You wouldn't eat a sandwich in front of a homeless person. How dare you put a house behind a chain link fence with nobody in it? Now let's open it up and get people in there. Y'all have a lot of money to deal with. Let's spend some on folks that need it the most. I thank you for your time, and I really appreciate the opportunity to work with you and for you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Corey Evett, District 5. I just want to thank all these people sharing their experiences today. I was not prepared to hear all that, and for them to take the time out of their evening to come out here, it means a lot to hear those stories, and I just want to thank them. I can only share my personal experience, and as someone that has attended pretty much every city council meeting, either in person or virtually over the last year, what I've seen in terms of housing that concerns me is a lot of people that look like me show up in opposition to housing, which is something we obviously drastically need. There's not a lot of incentive for people to show up and say we want housing in our backyards, but I just want to say as somebody that lives on District 5, stone's throw from District 6, I live on Brainerd Road. I took the number 4 bus here tonight that connects downtown to Hamilton Place Mall. I think there's a lot of opportunity for high density, low cost housing that we need to take advantage of. I just want to say that I do want housing in my backyard. I do want this council to move as quickly as possible to get housing built, to get low cost housing built, to get people on the bus lines transported to our commercial centers, to our downtown area. And I just want to thank you all for taking that action, and please escalate it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Barry Kidwell. I'm actually a pastor at First Centenary United Methodist Church, and I do Mustard Tree Ministries, which is also a ministry that works out on the street. And I'm proud to say I'm a friend of Josh's. And I'm here to ask that he be allowed to continue to build these little shelters. I don't know if you guys have ever gone out after these rainstorms and all we've had and tried to help people get blankets that are soaking wet from being in the rain. These shelters are at least keeping people from having to go through a numerous amount of blankets. It's a place where there's out of the wind and out of the weather. I don't know if you guys have ever seen anybody that's tried to heat their tent with a candle and the tent catch on fire. In these shelters, you wouldn't have to do that because the wind's not going to blow in on you. I know that Josh knows that it's not a permanent solution, but it's at least something temporary while we work on a permanent solution. I have a ticket to the mayor's affordable housing thing on Thursday. I'm going to be there to hear what his ideas are, what the ideas of the city are, and to support those because I understand that they're pretty good. But also will speak on behalf of the fact that a few years ago, the ministry that I do tried to build a community for people to be able to get off the street. We have a 16-acre little mini farm. I was challenged that I don't know what a farm is, and I'm like, I worked dairy farms for 20 years. I know what the heck a dang farm is. When you milk 400 head of cattle, it's not a huge farm, but it's a place where we're going to build tiny houses to house people and to also employ people in some of the things that we do. We weren't shot down by you guys, thank God. We were shot down by the county, because people didn't want it in their backyard. And that's something I know we'll have to deal with. But I think that until we come up with a good permanent solution for my friends, that Josh has a good idea. It keeps people dry. It keeps people able to protect their stuff. It keeps people out of the weather. It keeps people out of harm's way. I mean, how many folks I know that get their tent cut and everything stolen? How many folks I know that, just can't feel comfortable going to their job without paying somebody to watch their stuff? And so they're trying to work and then having to pay somebody to watch their stuff and get stolen. And in these little shelters that Josh is building, it can help with a lot of those things. So I hope that you allow him to continue to build them. Thank you.
Marie Mott, District 8. The riskiest thing we can do is just maintain the status quo. You can't allow tradition to get...
Hey, my name is Will, and first of all, I'm not a very good public speaker, okay? Except in a spiritual setting, in a church. I'm a contemporary Christian songwriter, singer. I play guitar. I just want to tell you what a blessing that this little house has been to me. When I arrived in Chattanooga, I had some major setbacks, okay? So I came here with a few dollars from a job I had in another state in the state of Georgia, pardon me. So I arrived here, and I was in a tent for a while in a little camp, right? But I'm a senior citizen. I'm like, the 25th of this month, I'll be 72, okay? So I get there, right? And when I'm alone in the tent, right, at night, because all the people around me are younger, God bless them, are younger than myself. So, I would have times, it wasn't all the time, but I have times when I would be thinking, well, is somebody going to come from behind me, and hit with a big club in the back of my tent, right? I would be thinking, there have been tents set on fire with, I don't know, with people in them. I imagine there have. I haven't heard that with people in them, okay? So, these things kind of play on you, but my faith was there, right? And I knew the Lord would protect me, right, in the long run, but in the short run. But when Joshua told me about these little houses that we're building, I was so excited. And then when he told me that he had a calling from God to help the homeless, and in a particular area, which is the area of expertise, So I'm going to wrap this up, y'all. God bless you. Thank you very much for hearing me. But the peace of God came over me when I got in this little house, okay? I had already written a song, my last song. It's called The Peace of God, which passes all understanding. And if I had more than 20 seconds, I'd ask you if I could sing it, but I don't have a 16. But God bless you, and I thank you all. And just remember that the one above is in this work through this man. God bless you. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Megan Swisher from District 4. And first of all, like the gentleman before me from District 5, I don't know where you are, but I was not prepared to hear all of this today. I came here for a very different reason. So thank you guys for sharing your story. Very compelling. I think Chattanooga needs to work with this man over here that wants so bad to help and has the resources to do that. But